Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And boy, is this an important month for you personally and where it comes to your one-on-one alliances. All month, there is this sense of another person taking focus or coming into play in some way, helping you to understand yourself differently, perhaps even more clearly, finding some truth about who you are. So it starts right out of the gate. On the first of the month, we are going to have a new moon in your opposite sign. The thing about this new moon, though, is that it is going to activate the Saturn-Uranus square. Now, if you remember, in 2021, this celestial conversation was very dominant in the sky, and it was encouraging you to get honest with yourself about where you are in all kinds of ways with other people and why. Now, many people would have experienced this in terms of business partnerships or professional alliances. Of course, romantic alliances are covered here as well, though I'll talk about love a little bit later. But ultimately, there was this sense of needing to be honest with yourself about the people you've partnered with and whether or not those alliances are still working for you. And getting to see people for who they really are and believing them, as Maya Angelou said. And so here we are. We are at this new moon. And even though Saturn and Uranus do not exactly connect this year, for that matter, or now, they are what astrologers call within orb, which means that they're still communicating with each other in this conversation of tension. And this new moon is going to be activating that particular conversation by connecting in the sky with Saturn and speaking in a square formation with Uranus. And moons, lunar events, tend to bring emotion to the surface. And so this is a chance to emotionally integrate some of those larger lessons of 2021. But it's also a chance for you to look at the people in your life, and perhaps even new people coming in right now as well, and to be honest with yourself about the nature of these alliances, what works for you and what doesn't. For some, it's going to be a chance to start a fresh chapter with somebody that you used to be aligned with in a professional sense. For others, it is going to be a chance to redefine what certain alliances and business partnerships are going to mean for you going forward from here. And for others still, this is going to be a chance to break away, to form whole new alliances while leaving other alliances behind. Regardless, the thing to remember is it's an opportunity to check in with yourself, to be honest with yourself about how you really feel about these people in your life, these people that you're partnered with for business and professionally, and whether or not those alliances are still working for you. Now, as we navigate later into the month, it is going to be on the 16th that we will have this month's full moon. And this is so important for you. This full moon is happening in your sign. And what makes this full moon distinct is that it is going to be square the nodes. So the nodes are a little bit different, symbolically speaking, than the planets in astrology. Planets speak to what we want, why we want it, and how we go about getting it. But the nodes are a deeper spiritual urge. They have to do with what it is that the soul desires to do in this lifetime or at this moment. A full moon in your sign is going to bring a whole lot of emotion to the surface, without a doubt. And it brings matters of identity into focus as well. what matters to you most, what matters to you first. All of that is going to be something that you are considering and contemplating very deeply. The thing is, though, it is one thing to want something consciously. It is another thing to feel some intuitive, instinctive drive that is wanting to lead you perhaps somewhere else. Or perhaps it's revealing some truth to you about how it is now that you've changed. And truth really is key here. So much of this particular month speaks to truth, but especially at this full moon in your sign. Because sometimes what the soul desires to experience and the direction in which the soul desires to go isn't always in alignment with what has been comfortable to you, what you've always done. But you know when it's right and you know when it isn't. And that is going to be part of the consideration that finds you at this full moon. There's another factor to consider, and that is that this full moon will be speaking with Pluto in what astrologers call a quincunx formation. Now, this is a type of conversation that can feel like it comes on by surprise, and it asks you to address a particular energy as represented by the planet. And so for you, it's about change, transformation, you looking at what within you now is wanting to change and perhaps feeling some very intense emotions as part of the process. And even if it may not necessarily be easy to embrace what changes are afoot now, you will know instinctively, but also your life will tell you where it is you are ready to focus on the direction in which you now realize you want to go and are meant to go. Remember, this is in your sign. I think this is the third time I'm saying that. And why I'm mentioning that is because when we have such important energy in your own sign, it becomes very sweeping, very all-encompassing. It's not just about one particular thing, but it's about who you know yourself to be. It's about your priorities, what matters to you most and first. It's about a redefinition taking place here and a chance to really focus on what that means for you may very likely find you at this full moon. At the very least, your own feelings will run very deep at this time as you come to realize where it is that change is now on the horizon. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is a massive month for Leos in the context of love. Not just because of the new moon on the first of the month. That is a big deal. Think about the lessons you've been through in the context of love over the course of 2021. All of that is going to come right to the surface. And very likely through a new moment or a new experience or a new understanding. But there's something else here as well, and that is Mercury. On the 3rd of the month, Mercury will go direct, and then once we navigate towards the middle of the month, Mercury will move back into your opposite sign. And this is going to allow you to find greater clarity and understanding as to where you are in love and why, and particularly with another person, moving forward in the second part of February in particular. It is going to be that second part of February that helps you to wrap things up in some way, helps you to find clarity and understanding as to the direction in which you now desire to go in the context of love. Now, I do want to give you a little bit of a heads up. March is a massive month for you in the context of love. You and your opposite sign, the Aquarians out there. And I'll have a lot more to say about that, but this is basically going to be Venus meeting Mars at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which has been a degree with a lot of activity in 2020 in particular. And so there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of love on the horizon, but those lessons in love and experiences in love start now. Now, for those of you open to meeting someone new, that new moon that we will start the month with is a powerful opportunity to make a connection with someone else. It may bring with it a mix of feelings, and it may bring with it experiences that cause you to reflect on your romantic experiences of 2021. Now, regardless of what happens, once Mercury moves back into your opposite sign mid-month, I think that is going to represent a real turning point for you, not only because of Mercury, but also because, of course, of the full moon in your sign. You're getting very honest with yourself about what it is that you want in every area of life, but including love as well. And that in turn ensures that you start seeing things differently to align with it. For those of you just starting to date somebody, I do think it's a powerful time. Either there's going to be a new understanding right out of the gate that helps you to feel in alignment with a more focused future with this person, where you start to envision it more clearly and overcome any resistance that you have. Or it is going to be the case that at that new moon, you come to realize that this may not be the person for you. Once we get to the middle of the month, it's actually Valentine's Day that Mercury is going to move back into your opposite sign. Well, that'll give you a chance to clear the air, clear up any misunderstandings with this particular person. Part of Mercury retrograde in the month of January took place in your opposite sign. And so breakups that happen with Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign tend to not stay broken up. And so if clearing the air means getting back together, well, that certainly is a possibility. But the other way in which the energy this month could work out is that really you could meet someone new. And that in turn can end up being challenging to your understanding of whether or not this person you've been getting to know is the one to navigate forward with or not. You will know. Your feelings will be very clear to you, especially once we get to that full moon in the middle of the month. And for those of you in an established bond, well, look, for the overwhelming majority of Leos out there in established bonds, I do feel like there's a real sense of forward momentum that's going to start to set in the second part of the month. There is a sense of hope and awakening happening then. But as we begin the month, though, it could be that there are things going on in your partner's life, whether it is that they are busy or whether it is that it feels like some older pattern is showing up again that has to be addressed. The two of you will be able to navigate forward from there. Once we move past Mercury moving back into your opposite sign, well, that is going to be a chance to really talk to each other and to feel a greater sense of genuine companionship. Now, for a very small percentage of Leos out there, if you know that you're not in the right relationship for you, I have to say that new moon is going to make things very clear. The full moon in your sign is going to bring a change. What I love about this month for you, well, there's a lot here. And even though the full moon in your sign is not necessarily the easiest energy, it is powerful and meaningful, and it is energy that ultimately is going to align you with a higher, more loving vision for your life, which is part of what the nodes represent. Now, I do want to also add another element here that I'm saying to all the signs out there. It is going to be on the 3rd of the month that Mercury will go direct. And once Mercury goes direct, all major planets are going to be direct right to the end of April. So this is a very big deal because it allows a sense of forward momentum. It allows a sense of change, especially where the energy or the changes we've wanted have felt stagnant. Now, for you, this notion of things changing, and in some cases dramatically so, is that much more certain. That full moon in your sign is going to get you honest, but it's also going to be part of meaningful transformations ahead. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. At NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, you get expanded exclusive video scopes each and every week for each and every sign. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.